Hello friends. I'm trying to still work with my software, and I don't know if this is showing up live anywhere, but it's been a while, and I came up with a pretty good idea, and based on some things that I had seen. So I was just wanting to share that with you. So in case you need any kind of last minute gift idea, I just thought that I would hop on and show you. So you're looking at my face right now. I'm going to do my darndest to get you down to the project. Okay, so hopefully you can see me, and if not, it might be recording and I can post it later. So hopefully you can see this project now. Today we're going to be working with some inks, and I want to tell you guys that this is the end result that we're going to hopefully come up with. And I wish I could give credit where credit is due to the person that I actually saw, but this is a fabric napkin, and you can do this with placemats as well. That was the original idea that I saw, and it's very, very simple. So what you can do, and I'll tell you both ideas. So I went to Home Goods, and I was looking for placemats, and you need the type of placemats that are double-sided, like you could pull apart, but they didn't have any in any kind of patterns that I liked. So I got this set of 12 napkins. I got two sets. They're 18 by 18, and just a full disclosure, I paid $14.99 for 12 18 by 18 napkins. Now, as you can see in this set, you get some plain red, and then you get the patterns as well. It's equally split. So when you get your napkin, and here's a plain one. So it does. This one happens to have a tag. All you do, and you don't have to sew to do this. I can't sew a straight line to save my life, but all you're going to do is fold it in half. And if you wanted to put some trim on it, like I have, I did break out the sewing machine, and I stitched that on first, and then I stitched up the sides. So hopefully I'm not going too fast, and that makes sense. So you're just going to fold it. I would recommend pressing it. I didn't have an iron handy. And then you'll have your two sides stitched up or glued up. You don't even have to glue it until after we ink it if you don't want to. If you do the placemat method, what you can do is you can just, some of them already have pretty patterns on them. But you could just take a seam ripper and open it up. I would ink it first, but I would take a seam ripper and open it up because you want to be able to get the ink mat down inside it. And then literally after you inked it with whatever your design was, you could hot glue it right back together. That's the placemat version. And for stuffing, for a good idea for stuffing, because I happen to have some because my mom's a seamstress and we've had it forever. But if you need an inexpensive way to grab some stuffing, you could pick it up from, just grab a pillow at Walmart. I think they're $2.50 or maybe a little bit more. One of the big overstuffed pillows, and you could just rip that pillow open and get the stuffing out of it. So if you're with me so far, all I've done is I've folded the napkin, and in my case I have stitched up the sides and I've added my trim. Okay, so because it was taking me a little while to get all this technology that I'm not so good with together, this is one of our ink mats. It's sticky. You can see my finger. So you're going to tuck that down inside, okay? And the other thing that you want to be very careful of when you're working with ink and that you want to have nearby is a baby wipe, or what I happen to have nearby is a disinfecting wipe. I just happen to have a cheap set. The reason for that is ink is permanent. You do need to heat set it. And so then I've gone ahead, and you do not need to fuzz your transfer. This is the, I think this is from last year. It was Santa Claus is Coming to Town, and there was the word believe. So we've got the front side of the fabric stuck onto the mat, and then I've just very carefully put this down without fuzzing it, because you want it to be very tacky and you want it to adhere. So now what I've got is our Chalkology ink. This is permanent ink. Like I said, you need to be very careful when you're using it. I've had this for over a year, and I'm going to use a small squeegee. With ink, you do have to go over it to make sure you get it through the screen fairly well. If you were a sloppy inker, I would strongly recommend that you put some placement tape around to give yourself a border. But I've been doing a few of these, and I think I got the hang of it. So just put some on the small squeegee. I'm going to set this down, and we're just going to go right over the design. And you do have to really push it in. But how great is that I was able to grab napkins, and it encouraged me to bust out my sewing machine and figure it out. My mom's a seamstress, but she hasn't really taught me too much since I was very young. She makes things that are unbelievable. I can barely sew a straight stitch. And just because I had used this before, I just want to go over it twice. And just want to make sure that I'm really pressing it in through the silk screen. Okay, and that looks pretty good. I'm going to take the excess and I'm going to cap this because it can be very messy. And I apologize you can't see my face. I'm not that good yet. So then here's our transfer backer. So now here's your moment of truth, which you hope is going to come great. When you're peeling this stuff up, you want to peel it all together. So that came out really well. So I'm just going to tack it right here on my transfer backer just so I can have a place to put it. I'm going to quickly wash that. And then we need to take out our ink mat, which is also adhesive. And this was the hardest part, believe it or not, because it kept catching on my hair. So just going to put that away quickly, and then we're going to straighten this out. Now, as I mentioned, you do need to heat set ink. I don't have an iron up here, but I do have a heat tool, and that should work just fine. Hi, Noreen. I'm glad this is working. It took me forever. We have new Wi-Fi, and I was just trying to figure it out. So all you're going to do is, what I would do is, if I had an iron, is I would take a piece of parchment paper and I would put it over this, and I would iron it with no steam. And you want to make sure that you get this good and dried. And it dries pretty quickly, but I'm just being extra careful, just because, like I said, ink is permanent. And I think I went through pretty well. Now, if this were a placemat, it would be even simpler, because all I would have to have done was I would have a small opening. And, you know, if you're fortunate enough to grab one of those inexpensive pillows from Walmart, you would just stuff it, and then you'd have a very small area that you could just hot glue up. In my case, I'm going to run a seam. I do have my sewing machine, and I can't sew a straight stitch to save my life, folks. I cannot do it. So I'm not going to spare you that torture, but I am going to show you the completed project. So this is one that I did. Here, you can see my sloppy sewing. I'm learning, aren't we all? But I thought it was a really cute project, and something nice that you could just kind of pop into maybe a kitchen chair. You know how what I've seen in like dollar stores, and friends of mine have, they're putting like the Santa hats on the back of their kitchen chairs or their dining room chairs. You could throw this as an extra little couch cushion. And, you know, if you really wanted to go nuts, you could put two of them together. Thank you for sharing, Noreen. I appreciate it. But really super sweet. If you don't want to sew, again, you could hot glue this on. I did it on another one where I had pom-pom trim, and I didn't chalk it because I was just trying to test it out. And honestly, if you wanted to make your whole pillow, because the transfers are adhesive, you know, I don't recommend it, but you could stick the transfer straight on here if you can get it, you know, stuffed enough, and do your inking right on here. But because it's already a flat piece, I figured it would be a crisper to do it this way, stuff it, and then I'm going to stitch it up. So that's my quick idea, a couple of different ways. I can see these being done from placemats if you're able to find, you know, cool patterns for summer. But with Chalk Couture, and if you have ink, you can make your own designs. So if you can get some plain placemats that match, like say your outdoor, that are outdoor fabric, you have to make sure that that's 2-ply and that it's a color on either side. And then all I would do is if it were me, I would just open up that placemat at the top the entire way, so that way you could get the ink mat inside of it, and then I'd stitch it back up after you put your design on. people are very intimidated by ink because it's permanent. I've been a card maker and a stamper for a lot of years, so I guess I'm used to using inks of all shapes and sizes. So it doesn't intimidate me quite as much. And I really enjoy working with it. So this is the difference. We also have chalk pastes, and I'll show you the, a jar of that. This is the Silver Shimmer. This was from last year as well. The chalk paste is removable, and you would put that on a chalkboard, metal, wood, all kinds of things. But the ink is reserved for t-shirts, fabric. I've done canvases with ink, but again, it's a fabric material. It tends to work out a lot better on a canvas material. So those are the two things. If you're interested in learning more about Chalk Couture, I'd love for you to send me a message. My name is Laurel Deviney, and I'm just starting back. I had joined Chalk Couture a while ago, and then, COVID, life. I actually had some medical problems. So now I am, I've rejoined, and I hope to become more consistent moving forward. They do have a pretty wonderful opportunity, because people who like to craft, they always say, well, how does this benefit me? Well, I first joined for the discount because it can get you 40% off, and I like to make things, and that might be enough for you. If you want to hear about specials and upcoming things, if you could just comment, add me, and you can join my, you'll be in the group here. And we also have a monthly club, which is really cool. And I'm going to be doing another video because I'm trying to get practice with this software. So if you want to come back and watch that. But I'll tell you about what Club Couture is. It's $19.99 in the US, shipping included. And every single month you get I believe it's a B-size transfer. The November one was a holiday one. And so I've been making a lot of signs and things to give out as gifts using that holiday transfer. And I need to make some more. So I thought that I might do that live with you, and I do that using the paste. Anyway, it comes right to your door. It gives you 3 paste singles in 3 different colors that you can use, and every single month you get the freshest transfer. There is a new one out for December, which I have yet to receive, which is very pretty, and it says welcome across it. So there's lots of ways that you can participate. If you're a club member, if you're a Club Couture member and you get the monthly transfer and the paste singles, you also get some special treats because you're considered like a VIP customer. And right now, they have transfers for $5 only for Club Couture members. So if you are interested in learning more about maybe becoming a designer and earning a little bit of extra money by trying it out this way while you're having fun making things, you could comment, join, and I would get in touch with you. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the project. It's very simple, even for somebody who can't sew, and very affordable. I mean, $15 for 12 napkins wound up being what? $1.25 a napkin, plus, this ink I've had, it goes very, very far. The transfer I've had, that size transfer, it was part of a larger transfer. I mean, so you could literally do 12 pillow gifts for, you know, under $5 a pillow. So I hope you like it. Hi, Lila. You like my idea? I can't figure out how to get my face in the camera, but I'd rather show you my project. And I'm trying to restart, refresh, restart, right? So there you go. That's how you can come up with a very simple last minute gift idea. And like I said, don't go buy polyester fiberfill at the craft store. It's unbelievably expensive, first of all. And second of all, if you go to Walmart or walmart.com, they have this overstuffed pillow. I think it's called the Great Big One. I'm not sure. But just take a look at pillows. And I mean, it's under $3, this pillow. And there would potentially be enough stuffing inside that pillow, because literally you're just going to cut it open. And you could probably do, I would say, you probably need 2 pillows to do 12 sets. Well, I'm glad to be back, Lila. I'll tell you, 2020 has really stunk, right? But, and I'm going to try and work it into my work schedule. I'm returning to work next week, so bear with me as far as a live schedule, but we're all making gifts, and I kind of thought this might be an easy one. So all I did was, I did attach this lace first, and then I folded it in half, and that's why it looks a little wonky over here in this corner. And then I inked it, and then I heat set it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to it's easier to get on the sewing machine in this form, so I'm just going to sew up a stitch. I'm going to stuff it, and then I'm going to close out my stitch. Hi, Trisha. Well, guys. So this crazy thing is working. That's so wonderful. You like it? Little pillow made out of a napkin. But I love that placemat idea, honestly. I think the placemat idea is fantastic because, boom, you don't even need a sewing machine for that. All you do is, as long as it's a 2-ply placemat that you can find in Home Goods or TJ Maxx or a place like that, all you do is you open up that seam. I would open the entire top seam because you want to be able to get that ink mat down inside of it. You ink your design. Heat set it, pull out the ink mat, heat set it, and then all you're going to do is stuff it and then sew up, you can just take hot glue across the top and you're done. Okay, so I'm going to end it, and I am going to try and be back. I would like to figure out how to get my face in the upper corner. I do have a bunch of little ornaments to make. For my workers. So, and I'm trying to develop content so I can just keep posting. So I'm going to finish this up off camera. And if you watch this page, maybe you'll see me come back and I'll do some quick little ornaments. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming, Lila. Appreciate it. Thanks, Trisha. Thanks, Noreen. I hope you like this. And, my 2 girls, maybe you'll see one in your Christmas basket. there's my face. All right, thanks so much for coming, everybody. I do appreciate it. And I'm going to finish this up, and then I'll be back. Have a good day, everybody. I'm not sure how to stop this, so we'll give it a shot. See you soon.